been a pretty hectic day. I just dropped Donovan off at work. Pop. Pop has been downgraded again, so he's moved to another room. He's in 3017 at Ocala Regional here in Ocala, Florida. It's a neurology unit. Um, he is still very confused. They're thinking he might have like some brain damage or something. They're not giving me straight answers. They're guessing a lot right now. They're in the process of running more tests. He had another CT scan to try to rule out a stroke. They tried to do an MRI and he didn't fit through in the machine. Um, so he wasn't able to have the MRI. They did a swallow study to make sure if he's when he's swallowing water or something that it will it's not going to his lungs again. I just talked to my bosses and told them again what's going on, and I don't know, they don't seem to care what anybody's going through. It's all about their bottom line. But anyway, enough on that. I have an aunt who's trying to come down to help me so I can actually go back to work. Again, I've extended my LOA because of Pop, but that's unpaid, unfortunately. Um, and plus, even with that, if I was able to go back to work tonight, I've got nobody at the house with Jay. And yes, Jay's 14. I trust him to be by himself, but with his diabetes, he knows how to handle a high ups really fast, which it has with him. Um, Everybody else has got to handle it because he becomes lethargic and confused, and that's happened several times. So I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. I can't work because of Jay and nobody there with him, and all this stuff going on with Pop. Pop today, he told me as soon as I walked in, Jenny, I don't think I'm going to make it through this. And I'm like, yeah, you are. They've downgraded you. You're fine. We just got to figure out what else is going on. And he says, so I'm out of the woods. I said, yeah, Pop, you're out of the woods. The nurse piped in about that time. You're out of the woods, Pop. Just calm down. And 15, 20 minutes later, he asked the same thing over again. What happened? Am I out of the woods? I don't think I'm going to make it out of here. And his big thing is I want to sit up. He wants to sit up. They let him sit up for a few minutes because it helps his lungs. It helps him breathe better. But they pretty much put him back in it because he tries to get up and he's not supposed to get up. But this is Pop. He's stubborn. So they lay him back down. They put the bed into like this chair, like a recliner position. It looks like he's sitting up in the chair. And as of 11:30 this morning, he was on an NPO, so he couldn't eat or drink anything until after they got the results for the test. Once that comes through, they'll let him eat and drink again. That's only providing he's not inhaling any food or water in his lungs again. What else? Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I need all the prayers I can get. um, he, but he's doing better than he was 3 days ago. But they're assuming that he was this confused and disoriented before this, and I keep telling him he was not. He had sound mind for a man his age. He was not this confused. He wasn't. And I keep telling them this. And with Pop, I've had you right now. You have to explain what happened over and over and over again because he's not retaining anything, or he forgets. I'm not sure. I tell the nurses this is not how it was. He this is not how he was beforehand. Um, He saw Jaden. Jaden came. They actually let Jaden back in there today to see him, and he saw Jay, and he said, he said, it's good to see you, my boy, and proceeded to cry a little bit. Um, every time he sees one of the boys, he tears up, and, oh, I'm so glad to see you. My aunt in North Carolina, before she got off the phone with him today, because she's video called him the last couple of days, he says, I love you, Annabelle. And that made her feel pretty good too, because she's been really stressed and worried about him. Yeah, no, that's what I can't get these nurses to understand, is he wasn't confused before. Oh, and then they wanted to blame it on the sedation. Okay, yeah, I gave it a few days for the sedation, because yet generally older people, when they have that propofol or whatever it's called, to keep them asleep like that, it does take longer to leave their system. This is going on day four, I think, day 4 or day 5. And thank you, Ann. So, boy, I wish one of you guys was closer, because I felt terrible. I'm having to leave him up there. They won't let me stay with him. They pretty much, you know what? That's a good idea, and I think I will show them that video, or one of his videos, one of his most recent. Anyway, that's a good idea. But like I was saying, that's the sedation, for older people, it does take longer to leave out of the liver. So it's long enough now to where it should have been out of his system. So I can't say it's sedation. This is, he starts trying to talk and he can't complete a sentence. I was gonna videotape when I was or do a live when I was in there earlier this morning, and the nurses, they kept coming in the room and staying. I'm trying not to get them on video. Yeah. But now that somebody mentioned, I didn't even think about it. But let me turn my car lights off. But that's what's going on. He'll start trying to say something like, I want. He'll say I want, and then it's just gone. The thought's gone. He can't get the sentence out. He can't tell you what he wants. He tries 4 or 5 times and finally gets it out of what he's wanting. Like he wanted to stand up and pee. So then I finally got him to get it out, or was able to get it out, and had a nurse come up there. Joey happened to be there from work, after work, and he's a PTA now. He's a physical therapy assistant. So this is part of his job to help whoever, and he actually helped the other physical therapist that was there to help Pop, and they helped stand him up, and Pop stood there at his walker and went pee. And then he was able to say, okay, I'm done, I think I can sit down now. And they said they took the Foley off the catheter, so now he can actually use a urinal, or they're trying to get him up to go to the bathroom. That's another thing I keep telling him. Even before this, he was weak and in a wheelchair. He can get up and walk around. But as far as building the strength, he never did what the doctors told him to do once the COVID stuff happened years ago. He's been supposed to be working out and building up his strength in his legs. Oh, wow. But so he's still really weak. I mean, he could stand up and he could walk on a walker, but right now he's too weak to do that. So, you know, they're seeing it, and I'm telling them, this is the third group of doctors and nurses he's had. He's had one in ICU. He had one in that first room they took him to after ICU, and this is the third room they put him in neurology. So it's a third set of nurses and doctors. So I've had to explain it 3 different times. I pick Donovan. Donovan gets off work in the morning here at Walmart at 8 o'clock. I pick him up, and then we're going to go back up to the hospital. I try to go every morning and sit for a few hours. And we'll go from there. I mean, I'm happy that he's doing better than he was 3 days ago, but it really, the confusion and everything scares me. But yeah, that's everything going up on until 9. being the only driver in the house, and everybody, Donovan with his CP and the way he perceives things. Donovan, I am so proud of that kid. I can't keep calling him kid. He's 33 years old. I'm so proud of Donovan because he's really stepped up to, for me being injured and everything going on with Pop. He's really stepped up to the plate. There was a certain period of time there that my short-term disability didn't kick in or whatnot, and he stepped up and really helped out the household. Period. And now with this with Pop really scared him. But he's still, he's here at work. Even though he's worried to death about his Pop, I'm proud of him. He's doing so well. And then Jay, his way of dealing with stress and everything going on. Jay is, oh my gosh, he's not your typical 14-year-old. They're wanting me to have him tested to see if he's on the autism spectrum, because he's really, at 14, most boys are pulling away from their mom and wanting their own, they're looking at girls. And what Jay is 14, and oh my goodness, he's gonna be bad if I say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He needs me, he needs me in stressful situations. If we're going to a doctor's office, he's right there by my, and the boy is 6'1". He's a tall little toothpick. But he's very mama needy, mama clingy. And then with the diabetes and everything, he's not taking it serious at all. If I put a Libre in right now, it's a CGM that scans his sugar, I guarantee it's high, because he wants everybody else to remember his insulin for him. And I'm trying to get him to understand, you've got more time to mess your body up than me or Pop. He wants to say, well, y'all are taking the same medicine. No, I know that doesn't mean he's autistic. The nurse just noticed other things, like he's got sensory problems. Like if he's in the shower trying to take a shower, he has to have goggles on his eyes. It's sensory issues that he's having. He's having these waking night terrors that some autistic children can go through or whatnot. It's just there's several different things going on that they think he might be on the spectrum. If he's on the spectrum, he's high functioning. But that's why she's wanting to go through behavioral health and just have him tested. I didn't see anything until they said something. Then I noticed certain things. He likes another thing. He likes destroying stuff. No reason, nowhere. I just literally, I've been making payments since we moved into this house on the furniture in there. And my love seat and my sofa, he stabbed holes in. I mean, just playing with forks or knives or you name it. He was he likes destroying stuff. And there's certain behaviors or whatever that leads to them thinking, okay, maybe that he's got something going on. But again, I'm listening to doctors or whatnot, and I never saw anything. I thought he was just destructive. I never saw anything until they started pointing out things and gave me a list of things to look for, and he has several things on that list that he does. He's still a good boy. He's never been in trouble at school. He's my little stinker. He's Pop's little stinker. But there's a lot of stuff going on there. I don't know. See, I'm scatterbrained. I'm already off topic, and I can't even remember what else we were talking about. Canadian girl, he's all right. He's in he's in his third room with his third set of nurses and doctors. They've downgraded him again. He's in a neurology floor. He's in room 3017. In case anybody wants to send flowers or balloons or whatever, it's Ocala Regional, room 3017. I took him some balloons in there today. He laid there watching those for a little while. He's just really confused. Like I was telling everybody, he's just really confused, and he's not himself. Before this, he wasn't confused. He has hard times getting sentences out. There's certain things Thanks, Naparuski. He's trying to talk. He will start a sentence like, today he just wanted to stand up and pee. So he would say, you know, I need to, and it took several tries before he could get the sentence out. He is, another a few things he's saying is he keeps telling me I'm not going to make it out of here, and I can't get him to understand that he's been downgraded. Yeah, I'm thinking he may have had a small stroke too. They tried to do an MRI and he couldn't fit in the machine, and so they waited until this morning to do another CT scan, because if it's a small stroke, it'll show up eventually on the CT scan. So they did that. I left about an hour. Oh my gosh. What's time is it? It's 11:06. We left at 7:00, and then went and had dinner at my son's house, because they actually did I helped a little bit, but they actually threw the Thanksgiving dinner together. So me and Jay went over there. Donovan stayed home and slept for work because he had to work tonight. But he's just really getting confused. Somebody mentioned that I should show one of his videos to show them that he's not always been confused. So I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, especially if I can catch one of them in. Oh, everything helps, honey. I appreciate it. He's just scared. You can tell he's scared, and they wouldn't let him eat anything, which really it upset me. Why would you, he comes off the vent, and that you want to do all these tests. Why not do all these tests while he was on the vent and calm? Because now he's off the vent and he's starving and he's hungry and he's wanting something to drink, and they can't give him anything because he's on this NPO until after once they finish the test, they'll let him eat. They finished the test, but they were waiting on the results. Yeah, I'll let them watch some. But they were waiting on test results. I was so upset about it. I gave him a sip of water because his little old lips were really chapped and pasty. I cleaned his mouth off. I tried to clean his bad ear out really good, because it gets really nasty if they don't clean it out. And I've told them that, but it was for other set of nurses. So I cleaned his ear and I cleaned his mouth off, and I gave him some cold water. And then we left. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'll be there first thing in the morning, and hopefully without all the nurses running out, and I'll do another live so you guys can see for yourself what I'm talking about. Honey, I've tried to get them to flush his ear. They keep, he was downgraded from ICU to 4. He was in that one floor one day, and then they downgraded him again. So now he's in the neurology floor, and now they're just trying to figure out what else is going, where it's really, and I'm not complaining because he's mad, and I love him to death, and I don't want, he's a pain in the butt sometimes, and we get on each other's nerves. But if something happened to oh Lord, I looked like him. If something happened to him, I'll do all I can. It's sometimes I get overwhelmed with everything. I do. I get overwhelmed with everything. Donovan helps a lot, but I feel bad because I'm not at work with him, and I feel bad that I'm not there with him, supporting him, because my management team at my store, they take advantage of the fact that I'm not there, because when I'm there with him, if they mess with him certain, they try to push him when he don't need to be pushed. With his cerebral palsy, he don't react well. He don't know how to defend himself when he knows he's in the right. I'm Mama Bear. I turn into Mama Bear, and I'll go find management when I find him upset. And look, this is what's going on. You can't push him like this. It's like you have to remind these people that he has special needs. He's doing the best he can. He works at one pace. Don't expect him to be faster. So, I get overwhelmed because I feel like I'm need to be here with them. I need to be there with Jay because I'm scared to death that he'll have one of his low sugars And then now I know with Pop, yes, I understand he's getting older and I have to let him go one of these I have to let him go one of these days. I'm not sleeping well. I don't know. I'm bawling like a big old crybaby. But that's what's going on. I vented a little bit. I needed to, I guess. But we'll see. I'll be there in the morning. Um, Maybe I'll be able to sleep a little bit tonight. I don't know. I know I've got to slap a Libre in Jay's arms, so I've let him have a couple of days off without it because his little arms was getting so sore. Pop, but I don't know. He's doing better. He's doing better than he was, but he's still not Pop. Yeah, I've got access to his email and everything. I mean, that's one thing he has maintained. What he did now that I'm sitting, I keep losing signal. He I appreciate. I don't know. I just wish they could figure out what's going on and I could bring him home. And when he gets home, I don't know. I don't know. He's getting around. He's sitting up all right. He really, nah, it keeps, I guess I've just got a bad signal where I'm at. But I'll go ahead and cut it short. I'm praying that Ma is able to make it down here and help because um, distract me a little bit. Um, that way I don't have time. I just, I'm just do what I got to do, and I don't have time to sit back and think about it. It's moments like this when I'm by myself and thinking about everything going on that it's just suffocating and scared and worried and do you know when Pop's at home and in his worst mind, in his right mind, he's worried about my health. Oh Lord, I worry about everybody else and then trying to get everybody else situated that I tend to leave myself out of the equation. But it's because everybody's more important to me. My middle son's helped a lot. Every time he gets off work at 2 o'clock, he goes straight up to the hospital. And because he works for that particular hospital, just a different branch at another rehab center, he's able to take his little badge and scan just to go right back, so he don't have to wait. He can go right back to Pop's room without having to check in or anything, and which is nifty to have, especially if I can meet him up there at that time, that we could just go right through. He's got his own life though. I mean, he does help, and he's if it wasn't for Jay has no filter. Jay he was gonna let Jay stay with him tonight. Okay, Health Nuts. If you'll send your info through Pop's email, I can get it off there. But Jay has no filter. He doesn't think about what he's going to say before he says it. He don't think about how it's going to affect somebody's feelings or whatnot. He just says it, no filter. Like tonight when they cook when Joey and his girlfriend or fiance cooked dinner, he was quick to say, "Oh, I don't like this." It was a texture issue. He's I don't cook fresh green beans. Joey and Emma snapped fresh green beans and cooked them and everything, and he didn't like them, and he flat out said it, and not thinking about. I'm sitting, as a mom, you sit there and give him a look. You better not say nothing. And but he says things, and I think he offended her a little bit. And then at the same time, Joey's like, "Well, I'm gonna talk to Em," and I think he sees her getting upset with him, and it's not that she's mean or anything, because she's a sweetheart. It's just Jay don't stop to think what he's gonna say before he says it. He Oh goodness, it's my baby. Sometimes it's not off-putting. Sometimes it's just it's funny when he says it, and then other times it's like, oh, you can't say stuff like that, little boy. You got to think about what you say. And he but Joey was gonna let him stay over there. Hopefully, if between my aunt and Joey, they're gonna help me with Jay. Um, I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out quick because I don't think these suckers are gonna hang on to my job much longer, especially with me being off LOA. So I've got to figure it out quick. And I'm not gonna lose 10 years of my life trying to find another job. I lost my mom in 2007. December 4th of 2007. She had her second stroke on November 14th of 2007. Um, November and the beginning of December is always been since my mom passes, and since my brother passed actually, because my brother was killed on November 14th of 1986. It's been a tough period. And then to top it all off, my freaking birthday is December 21st. So, I tried to do, my mom loved Christmas, and I tried to keep up, putting up the tree and trying to keep myself in. I don't know how my mom did all of this stuff. She was an amazing woman. She was able to keep the house clean. She worked full time. She made sure a meal was cooked every night for Pop. She did all of this stuff. I can't do it. It's so hard, and I'm exhausted all the time. I'm exhausted all the time. I'm amazed, now, with her being gone so many years, it still amazes me that she was able to do all of this. And a lot of the part she did it, I understand those times when she was miserable and depressed. She was just an amazing woman. I wish I would have paid more attention when I was growing up. He's all right. He's down. He's been downgraded a third time. He's in a third room. He's in room 3017 at Ocala Regional Hospital here in Ocala, Florida. It's a simple Google search if anybody wants to send him flowers or something. He is just really confused. They're trying to find out if he had a stroke or a mild heart attack. They're running the test. He does have the enzymes for a heart attack, but I haven't got to talk to a cardiologist yet. Hopefully that'll be tomorrow. I talked to one in ICU, but since he's transferred floors, he's got a whole set of new doctors. But he's doing all right now. He's just really confused. He's scared to death he's not going to make it out of there, and he is. He keeps asking if he's out of woods. You have to keep explaining everything to him over and over again about Jay's been diabetic. He was literally, when we had COVID back in 2020, September 8th of 2020, Jay got really lethargic and sleeping 12, 14 hours a day and not eating, and but he was hungry and drinking water like he just bottle after bottle after bottle. He would go through water in a couple hours. I took him to the doctor. I thought he had some kind of stomach bug, and they were literally going to send him home and saying he's constipated because they did an x-ray on his stomach and you could see that he was a little constipated. But then she had him do a pee test, and when she came back in and she sat me down and she says, Miss Pierce, the good thing is she motion active and he's awake and he's coherent and everything. So I started freaking out, and then she said she's pretty sure he has ketoacidosis, and they had to air fly. They life flight COVID pretty much killed off the beta cells that they that was fighting to stay active in his pancreas, and when that died, that's when the diabetes he would end up with it anyway because he was I guess he he was going to end up with it anyway. So he was diagnosed in September of 2020, and so that's what 2 years, a little over 2 years. Um, he doesn't take it serious. Um, he wants everybody else to remember to give him his shots. Now this is not all the time. Now, when he puts his mind to it, he does he takes care of his insulin and everything in school. But his biggest issue is he guesstimates. Sometimes he gives it too much insulin and it'll drop. He starts feeling a insulin drop when it's like 100, and even though that's normal, it drops. No, it's only he was only like diagnosed in September 2020, but he'll give himself too much insulin and it'll drop to like 100, and that's when he starts feeling bad. Even though that's a good area. Between 70 and 170 is good numbers for him. Insulin for some food. Some leftover Thanksgiving dinner that we brought home from Joey's. He got insulin for that, and when I get home, I'll give him his long acting. Jay doesn't like attention called to the fact that he is diabetic or whatnot, especially in school. So they've arranged it to where he can sneak off to the bathroom and give himself his insulin and everything, because he don't want the added attention to it. Good night. Oh my goodness, yeah, I need to take my butt home anyway. But oh, I thought that was Donovan behind me working. But I'll go ahead and I've rented enough. I appreciate everybody, and like I said, I'll get on and see what I'm talking about. That is an insulin pump. He has to be approved for that. And I have to find him another endocrinologist, because Shan's dropped us because I missed. They dropped from Shan's at Children's Hospital because we missed 3 appointments in 1 year. I forgot, if I don't get a text message or something to remind me of the appointment, I forget. They schedule them so far out that I forget. So I've got to find him another endocrinologist. I've just made an appointment with his pediatrician, and this pediatrician is going to refer us to one. So I'm not stressed on that. And we got. Okay, this keeps cutting out. We have several Libre sensors for him to scan his sugar, so we're all right on that. But I'll let you guys go again. So that this keeps freezing up on us for some reason, and I will try to do a video in the morning. It'll be like 8:30. 8:30. So I'll be able to see him, and maybe we go.